protect your soul. I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for me. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.
There we go. What's going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday. I forget what day of the week it is. It's been a while since we've streamed on a Tuesday, but glad to be here. Just apologies for the erratic schedule that we've had. It's a lot going on scheduling wise. That has forced me to have to reschedule some things throughout the week. So I'm super glad to be back, though. Super glad to be back in XPlane as well. We'll more than likely fly Microsoft Flight Simulator on Thursday, more than likely. Still could possibly also do a stream tomorrow as well. I was anticipating there being a hockey game tomorrow, but the Stars decided they wanted to close the series out yesterday, so that gives me an extra day. But we'll wait and see on that. But we possibly could still do a normal stream tomorrow and then still do the day stream on Thursday. I'm still trying to get schedule and everything sorted out on that. So hope everybody's week is going well. I'm going to do some sort of East Coast hops here. We're going to start our day out here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I got to connect my jetway. Almost forgot. Starting off in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Here, it's the Payware K-Pit. Pretty decent airport. I think it's modeled pretty well. I'm not sure how it's modeled compared to real life. It's obviously better than default, but I picked this airport up a few months ago. Overall, it's pretty decent. It doesn't really mesh very well with the ortho scenery, as you can see. It's got its own little cross section here, but yeah. No big deal. You know what? I don't have Active Sky. That's what I forgot to run. Might want to get real world weather going. Going to make our way up to Toronto. New and improved Toronto. I think I had this updated before, because we flew into it about a month or so ago before the new sim launched. So we're going to fly up to Toronto, and then I'm hoping we're going to fly into LaGuardia, into New York City. I'm hoping to get the expressway visual into LaGuardia. But we'll have to wait to see what the weather dictates for us on that. Unfortunately, I'm kind of just at the mercy of Mother Nature. But yeah, should be super exciting. Back in the Zebo, of course. I've already got a few things turned on. I was testing out the radios. ATC is working. I finally got XPilot to work. I don't know if I just need to restart my computer after the update before, because for whatever reason, it just wasn't working last stream. But we should have ATC with us this time around, as long as they don't jump off right when I file. Which reminds me, I probably need to go ahead and actually file the flight plan. Let's do that real quick. Well, I gotta pull my charts up first, because Pittsburgh, I think it's a Pittsburgh 5 departure, I'm pretty sure, but I'll pull the charts up just to double check. Let me make sure Avitab is gonna actually work, because lately. It's been giving me fits. It's hit or miss sometimes, especially with the Zebo. It can be hit or miss on the charts. Yes, it's yeah. Try it again. There it goes. I'm looking for the departure. Yeah, Pittsburgh 5. Pittsburgh 5 departure. Okay. Let me just get this filed real quick, ladies and gents, and then we'll get on our way. Still loyal to VATSIM. I know PostCon's up and running, and a lot of people are running that. VATSIM just has more traffic right now. I'm a VATSIM loyalist, so I won't be switching anytime soon, unless I'm just compelled to. Why can't I sign into VATSIM? There we go. Okay, where's my route? Okay, so we don't need the word direct in there. I don't have a route from FlightAware, so I don't know exactly this is going to be accurate or not, but we'll go with it. Everything else should be good. I'm going to file that flight plan. Perfect. They didn't stop me because I'm logged in. That's great. Get rid of this for the time being. Awesome. Let me get my XPlane sounds turned back on here. That is really loud. Jump into the pit here. That should be a little bit more reasonable on the ears. All right, yeah, so I turned it on ahead of time just to test the radios out, so that's why we're not completely cold and dark on stream, but I had to test a few things out ahead of time. So we've got ground power hooked up already. I'm going to go ahead and go aft fuel. We're going to line our IRSs, get those going, get our window heat flipped on here, and I am going to go ahead and start the APU. We are on a schedule. Alright, so APU should be firing up. Hydraulics can come on, as well as the APU bleeds and packs. Trim air. And I think we're good. Yo, what's up, Kithrick? How are you, buddy? Hope your week's going well, man. Starflight leg. Alright, so they can make a whole bunch of noise. We go down here, get some panel lights going. Going good, man. Going good. I don't know if you're a hockey fan, but my team's in the finals, man. So I'm excited. 2020's been a weird year. Never thought I'd see the Stars in the Stanley Cup final, but here we are, right? So yeah, so XPlane update launched literally like when I was on stream last week. Was having just all sorts of issues last flight, just with stuttering and everything. So I deleted my prefs file, deleted my shader cache. Hopefully that fixes it. Everything seems to be stable right now. Hopefully it stays that way, because I was having some major issues last time around. So we'll keep an eye on things. Hopefully it doesn't get too bad. I wasn't at Zebo last time too, I think, when we were having those problems. So we'll keep an eye on performance, since 11.5 is now live and or not final. I think it's still on like release candidate 3 or 4, but it's not in beta anymore, we'll put it that way. So it should be pretty darn stable. But my fault for, especially with Steam, anytime you update XPlane, wait, what happened? Yeah, well, there we go. Anytime you update XPlane, you really gotta have to redo those folders and let them rebuild themselves, because sometimes it just gets borked, especially on a major update like that. So my fault for not doing it, but I was in the middle of a stream and I overlooked that. Alright, so we're going Pittsburgh to Toronto. Lester B. Pearson. And we're going to be American 7488. I wanted to fly Air Canada, but for some reason my liveries are not. I think I accidentally deleted my liveries folder when I updated the Zebo like an idiot, so I got to re-download all my liveries individually. So that should be a ton of fun. But for now, we're just running on default liveries. All right, perf. All right, so now we just need to get our load information going. So what we're going to do is pull up sim brief. All right, so for our fuel, we need basically 6,000 even, 59.99. And then for our payload, well, I should probably just do this in my head because it always overestimates the payload. We need a zero fuel weight of 58.1. So we need to add 15,000, about just should be about 15,000 even. $58.1, takeoff weight 63.8, close enough. CG looks good. I'm gonna go to call the fuel truck. Pull up our airport information here for Pittsburgh, and then we'll get Toronto information. So we're gonna call and grab our clearance. It's been a while since I've been on with ATC. It's probably been about a month, honestly. So hopefully I'm not too rusty. In my defense, I made a valiant effort last time to try to talk to them, and my client was all messed up, so hopefully this time around it works. Ling 2 is our arrival. I don't know the runway yet. I'm gonna wait on that because I don't have the weather pulled up. I don't have ATIS information quite yet, or at all really. Let's go 134.9.
Where are you going? Are you going to Boston?
Yeah, we're going to Boston.
Alright. United 8112, descend and maintain flight level 250. United 8112, is that going to be your final cruising altitude?
Sure, sir. We're going to be maintained at flight level 350.
Yeah, you want to descend to flight level 250. That's going to be your final cruising altitude. You're requesting flight level 250.
Negative, flight level 350.
Okay, 350, copy. Climb and maintain flight level 350.
Well, maintain flight level 350, United 8112.
Cleveland Center, good morning. American 7488 IFR to Toronto, please.
I think the last transmission was blocked. I got someone requesting IFR to Toronto. I didn't get the call sign. Calling for Toronto. Say again.
Yep, yes sir. American 7488 IFR to Toronto, please.
American 7488. Roger. What airport are you departing? I don't have anything in the flight system for you.
Departing from Pittsburgh. I can refile if you need me to.
Yeah, resend the flight plan. Give me a call back.
I got
Who was the next call?
confirmation that it's sent.
Was that Best 36 calling?
Yep, Bravo Sierra Tango 36.
Bravo Sierra Tango 36. Hear you loud and clear.
Thanks for the call sign, Roadster.
All right, Broadstar 2036.
Yeah, it confirmed that it went through, so I don't know how he didn't get it the first time. Cleveland Center, American 7488, we've refiled.
Yeah, I'm not getting anything. How are you following?
Following through SimBrief, let me, I guess, try to follow directly through XPilot and see if that works.
Okay, here's the issue. Okay, I'm looking at Pittsburgh now. You're connected as American 7488. So you need to, if you're 3488, you need to connect as American 3488. So if you filed it as American 3488, it's not going to connect with your call sign. So I do have it, and it's just not connecting. So maybe you need to make sure you're connecting with as the call sign you filed it, and that fixes the problem.
Okay, yeah, my mistake. Let me go in and look at it.
Cleveland 206, 230, 50 miles southeast of Wozy.
Okay, let me just disconnect. Did I just... No, it's 7488. I connected as 7488. I think what I did was, I think I did Air Canada by accident. I think that's what he's saying.
Squawk 5770.
5770206.
Okay, AAL 7488. File.
Level 340.
That would be why. Okay. Yeah. I don't know where he was getting 3488 because that's not anywhere on here, but yeah, let's try it now. A little rusty.
Alright, Canadian Express 206 radar contact 42 southeast of Buffalo, flight level 230.
Copy the contact 206.
All right, Cleveland Center, American 7488. How about now?
And Metro 1362, radar contact 14 west of Wellsville, VOR. And American 7488, that's got it. Thank you, perfect. Whatever you did, that fixed it. Stand by for the clearance.
Perfect. All right, little hiccup. No worries. Partially it was my mistake.
206, descend across Iston at and maintain 17,000. Buffalo altimeter 3033.
Alright, cross Iston at 17,000, Express 206.
All right, so wait for the clearance here before I plug these numbers in. I can go and get my cost index in here though. Do 55 on the cost index. The weights should be good to go, so go ahead and plug that in. Make sure that makes sense. It does. I'm gonna wait for the cruise altitude in case he changes it.
American 7488, cleared to the Toronto Airport via the Pittsburgh 5 departure. Radar vectors Elwood City as filed. Maintain 5,000, expect. Flight level 310, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 134.9er and squawk 5760.
All right, American 7488 cleared to Toronto International Pittsburgh 5 departure. Radar vectors Elwood City VOR. Then it's filed. Climb maintain 5,000. 310, 10 minutes after departure. Departure 134.9. Squawk 5760 for American 7488.
American 7488, read back correct, pushback and engine startup is approved. Call me this frequency when you're ready for taxi. The plan for runway 28 right departure.
Wilco. All right, 28 right.
Delta 365 after departure, turn left heading 1.
Turn him down. Okay. 310 is the altitude that we will be flying on. I'm going to go ahead and have them take their seats in the back because we got to
The seatbelt sign is on.
get on out of here.
Seated and fasten your seatbelt.
APU Gen.
Just as a reminder, we cannot leave the gate until Karen items are properly put away. All overhead bins are closed and all passengers are seated.
Okay, winds 288.38. An ISO deviation of 8. Getting a little cooler out there. All right, transition altitude 18,000. That's perfect. Is that on there already? Okay. We'll derate the takeoff. That looks good to me. And we got to get our flight plan figured out here. So we're going to go Pittsburgh 5 departure. It's going to be radar vectors to Elwood City, so it's not going to show up on here. He's telling us to expect 28 right. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, so we'll just take Victor to Bravo, it looks like. So 28 right, looks good to me. 28 right. Execute that. Alright, so Pittsburgh 5, we're going to vector to Elwood City. So it's going to be Echo Whiskey Charlie. And then from there, we're just going to join our arrival into Toronto. This is the part where I pull the weather up. All right, Lester B. Pearson International. Current weather 1909er on the winds. We're gonna land on 15. Let me pull up. Pull up a couple. Well, actually, let me pull up FlightAware. See what we're working with here. All right, so they're landing on the departing on 2-4s. So I'm gonna expect 2-4 left. I think that's what I'm gonna plug in. Could go on 2-3. We can always change it in the air, but for now we'll plan 2-4 left. We'll do ILS 2-4 left. That's our runway fix there, runway vias, if you will. So we're good there. And then we're on the Ling 2 on the Oxman transition, I believe. Yep. Oxman transition, all that looks good. Go to sure. Go to legs. Clear that discontinuity. You got the vector there. Yes, I understand that. Thank you. It's not that steep. Okay. Flight plan looks good. I'm going to go back to our performance numbers here for our takeoff. We're going to be flaps 5. That's our CG 4.75 on the trim. Go ahead and do that. Hydraulics are on, so we can do that. And then our V-speeds, 136 for V1, VR 137, V2 146. So we're good to go there. All right, looks good. Pre-flight is basically complete. ATC dialed in already. We need to get our squawk code sorted out here. We're looking for 5760 on the squawk. I'm going to go ahead and go TARA because we're going to be pushing here very shortly. Let's go up here and mess with all this fun stuff here. We're looking for an initial altitude of 5,000 feet. He will clear us beyond that once we're in the air. I'm just going to go runway heading on this. Well, actually, let's pull apart because this is a vector departure, so this isn't going to be a straight out RNAV. So we're going to be vectored to Elwood City. We're going to take off on 28, so we're going to probably fly runway heading of 281, it looks like. Yeah, 281 for the initial heading. Unless he tells me otherwise, so I'll just plug that in now. 281. Turn our flight directors on, and then go heading select, and then VNAV. And then go 161 on our mock bug here. That's way too far. Perfect. All right, all that looks good to me. All right, guys, we are ready for push and start. Let me get rid of our jetway here real quick. Did I do it? There it goes. Again, we're looking for 28 rights. So we're going to push and face to the right. So we'll go ground services, better push back. Quest.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to
We are
go.
cleared for push and start already.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Go. Probably don't need terrain. We'll turn our weather radar on. We'll go terrain radar. It's fine. Get our fuel pumps flipped on here. APU bleed looks good. Anti-collision's got to come on. Everything else looks good.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Shut my door, yo. There we go. Thank you. Oh, altimeter. What are we right now? 3031. 3031. Yeah, plane thinks we're like in the ground right now. Or we were. Alright, so they're pulling us up.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Disconnect that. Alright, perfect. And parking brake released.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Alright, so you heard the lady. We are clear for engine starts. So we're going to go packs off. ISO valve open. Engine number 2 to ground. Turn them back up. Really need a better pushback equivalent in the new flight sim and Microsoft. I think GSX is working on their deal. GSX is okay. Better pushback, I feel like, is just more intuitive, in my opinion. I use GSX back in the FSX days, so hopefully they make some improvements on it. But to be fair, I haven't used it in quite some time. But better pushback is just simple and just... It's perfect as it's going to get. Just for a simple pushback plugin. Alright, that's a cutout for number 1. Cutout number 2, start engine 1. Oops. Over 25%. Give it gas.
As turbulence can occur unexpectedly, as we prepare for takeoff.
Operation complete. Go ahead and set the parking brake.
Parking brake is set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Get the ARIC updated as well. It's a couple cycles behind, actually, so... Normally, there's not a lot of variation between ARIC cycles, but... It's always good to be up to date just in case. Go engine gens on here. APU can come off. Engine bleeds on. ISO valve and packs go back to auto. Probe heats on. Switch that to Gen 1. Starters to continuous. Disconnects. And we're going to go taxi, runway turnoffs. Everything else looks good there. That's on auto. Our altitude here, 310. And current altitude in Toronto.
Citation Yankee Mike Sierra, we'll cancel IFR at this time.
Citation Yankee Mike Sierra, Roger, you're leaving my airspace near the center, not online.
Turn
Frequency
signal
changes
left. We'll
approved.
see you next time, and have fun up there.
Frequency change approved, Yankee Mike Sierra, good day.
Flaps 5. Brakes RTO. Trim is set.
I'm pulling the straps on either side. Breathe normally. Even though oxygen is flowing, the plastic bag may not inflate. Always put your own mask on first.
Alright, flaps are set. Let's do a flight control check. Full right, neutral, left, neutral, back, neutral, forward, neutral, right rudder, neutral, and left rudder, neutral. Flight control check is complete. And everything should be configured properly up top here, so we are ready for our taxi. And we are squawking mode Charlie. Center American 7488 with current weather ready to taxi 28, right?
Right, American 7488, runway 28 right, taxi via Tango Bravo 1.
Right, 28 right, Tango Bravo 1, American 7488. Okay, so we're gonna Victor 6 Tango Bravo 1.
Alpha, cross runway 23.
Park and brake release. I'm gonna go into arm auto throttle, have that ready to go. We're gonna do a quick config check here. We're just gonna throttle up past 50%. Plane's not yelling at us, that's a good thing. Brakes are checked. Recall is checked. Let's get her going. It's left right here. Oh, mouse figured out. .737 is such an involved airplane, yet it's so advanced at the same time. I can't wait until PMDG gets theirs figured out for Microsoft.
Cleveland Center, this is Delta 5535, passing 18,000,
Delta 5535, Cleveland Center, good afternoon, climb and maintain flight level 330.
up to 330, Delta 5535.
Delta 365, Rochester, altimeter 3032.
Our Southwest taxi on right now. Slow it down a little bit here. All right, we're looking for Bravo. It's just going to be all the way in and hanging right here. Is that a control tower? No, it's like a weather radar or something. Oops. All right, so we got Bravo here. Take a right turn here, and then we look for Bravo 1. That'll take us straight to the runway.
UPS 9745, cross runway 32.
Top Gun arrival.
Plan for run with the visual approach runway 21 left. Detroit altimeter 3029er.
Say again the altimeter for American 1137.
American 1137, Detroit altimeter
Bravo 1.
3029er.
Change to Foxconn arrival. Expect runway 21 left. Altimeter 3029 American 1137. What was the flight level?
American 1137 descend via the Top Gun to arrival.
Top Gun to arrival, American 1137.
Center American 7488. We are at 28 right at Bravo 1, ready to go.
American 7488 after departure, turn right heading 360. Wind 010 at 3, runway 28 right, cleared for takeoff.
Lift takeoff 28 right, 360 on the heading after takeoff for American 7488. Starters are on continuous, landing lights are on, wing light can come on. Strobe lights on. Alright, guys.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
Delta 365, leaving my airspace. New York Center not online. Radar service terminated. Change to Unicom 122.8.
122.8. 65.
Swordfish for the win. Thank you so much for the follow, buddy. Welcome aboard. Appreciate that. All right, 28 right's confirmed. Oops. All right, starting the clock. Both engines are stable, Toga. Day's going well, man. Day's going very well. Glad to hear yours is going well. Cross check.
United 8114 Cleveland Center, good afternoon. Climb and maintain flight level 330.
B1, rotate. Positive rate.
Gear up.
UPS 97.
Come 360.
Heavy after departure, turn left heading 210. Wind 220 at 8, runway 23, cleared for takeoff.
What a view, ladies and gents. What a view.
American 7488 is radar contact, stay altitude.
American Standard for 88, 3,200.
Roger.
Flaps clean.
Direct Elwood City, climb and maintain flight level 310.
Direct Elwood City, 310 on the altitude. American Standard 48. Perfect. LNAV, that'll take us direct. We're going 310. Alright, let's go autopilot here until I can get myself sorted out. Alright, so we're looking for 310. Like to hand fly it, but on the vector departures, there's a lot of knobs and stuff I have to turn without a co-pilot. It's a little difficult. Gears up and off. Brakes are off. We're going direct to Elwood City. So we'll get back on this track here. Where did you get the theme of your stream on the top of the screen? So that is a plugin called Fly Live. So they input the data. They've got like some templates on there you can use, but I customized mine. I basically... It's kind of hard to describe. I guess I went on like a third-party website and got an overlay, and then I inputted it into the system. And then I plugged in the numbers and all the blocks in manually. Yeah, it's called Fly Live. Put it in the chat there for you. Let me turn the volume down here real quick. Where is my XPilot? There it is. Turn him down a little bit. Turn XPlane down a little bit. Okay. Mr. Vertical Sim. What's up, buddy? How's it kicking, man? Alright, lights off. Yeah, so basically, like, it's really customizable, too. So you can put in your own images, and then you can customize how you want this to look. It's pretty neat, actually. Oops. Sorry. Hit my mic stand. Alright, we can turn the terrain radar off, go weather.
United 2119, Roger, on your, I think they use VPilot. On the VPilot client, you have to press the standby button on your VPilot client to switch it from standby to mobile.
Working on conversions. Yeah, man. A lot of... Assuming it's a lot of work that goes into it. But... And developers are pumping stuff out left and right for the new sim, dude. Pretty neat stuff. This is for Norfolk, it looks like. Yeah, that's crazy, man. It looks crazy complicated. Had to redo all the ground markings in 3D. Yeah, I think you mentioned before Tampa is going to be like your tough one. Why is my mic maxing out? I have a limiter on. I don't know why it's doing that. Alright, that should be better, hopefully. Maybe.
United 2119, it says you're in a DC-3. I'm not really familiar with the airplane. Maybe there's something you have to press in the cockpit then to change it. Or maybe you want to recycle the mode C, go to standby, then back to mode C. You have to maybe try that.
And it looks good so far, though, man. Yeah, I haven't bought a single payware scenery yet for Microsoft, and my reasoning behind it is that I'm mostly doing VFR stuff anyway until we get an actual jetliner. Now, once the jetliners get improved, then I'll be scooping them up for sure.
Right, XPlane 11. I think XPlane they use XPilot though.
The O'Hare looks pretty interesting. Miami looks pretty interesting. They've got a lot of stuff that's coming out, actually. Of course, we'll be picking up your stuff, especially Tampa. But just right now, with just the lack of jetliners, the big airports, like those big international airports, it's going to be kind of tough
I'm just gonna have, if you can,
for me to justify the extra cost, I guess.
I mean, I can't.
But we'll see.
That simulator, or I can't really help you with that. I would suggest maybe not flying or that airplane, or on the network, but what we'll do for today, we'll just give you a special waiver. But it's going to make my job and your job harder because I can't see your altitude. So you're going to have to report your altitude to me.
Yikes.
Which is more work for you. We'll get you on radar, but I won't have any altitude information. So
That sucks.
do it that way. Just let me know. Are you ready for takeoff? I see you holding short there.
Really hope Toronto cooperates with me on frames. I know they made some improvements on it, so hopefully everything holds up. It'll be landing and departing.
All right. Well, we'll see when you're airborne. I don't know what it'll do, but we'll have to see once you take off.
I think we have Toronto Center is.
21.
Well, we have arrival and ground on.
Departure, turn right, heading 360. Wind is variable at 3, runway 24 right, cleared for takeoff.
Yeah, DC-3, man, that's an old plane. I have no idea how that thing would work on the network. So I'm scared to fly the default planes on the network, man. Can't even change your flight plan on it hardly. Alright, so we're well past Elwood City at this point. So we're going to be entering our arrival here shortly. So we're on the Ling 2. I'm looking for I think we said 24 right. Yeah, this is kind of what I'm looking for here. I already verified via FlightAware that this is the direction at which they are arriving. It's just a matter of runway. But typically I usually land on this side when I'm coming from the eastern US. But once we're on with departure, we'll change if necessary. Hopefully not, though. Yeah, vertical sim. Yes, yeah. We're using both sims for now. I'm switching back and forth. At the end of the day, I'm a tube liner guy, so it's kind of... I get the itch, you know, to fly VFR. Sorry, IFR. You know, and until there's some proper jetliners for MFS, I'll be switching back and forth quite a bit. Yeah, the way I'm doing it now is just one day on, one day off.
American 1137, fly heading 240, descend and maintain 7,000.
240, flight level 7,000, American 1137.
American 1137, thank you. These are vectors for the visual approach, runway 21 left.
Expect visual approach 21 left, American 1137.
I just couldn't justify
21,
completely abandoning XPlane.
radar contact and say altitude.
So we'll, yeah, for the foreseeable future, we'll be running both, for sure. I'd say it's going to take at least, I'd say minimum a year for Microsoft to catch up. But, you know, of course, if you want to do some European flying or something, then we'll be on the new simulator. Hopefully Austin improves it soon. Yeah, I was having a lot of issues whenever 11.5 went live. It was a little janky. I had to go in and delete my preferences folder and do all the shader cache delete and all that. It's just kind of a pain to have to do all that every time you update.
United 2119,
So
need you to start your right turn heading 360.
It's been running pretty well, man. Ever since I've had a pretty good experience with Vulkan. I'm pretty happy with Vulkan so far. It's definitely a lot better than an OpenGL for me.
Roger. Thank you for flying and hope you can get it working next time.
it's just nice getting like stable frames and just overall just functionality is a little bit better in the sim compared to OpenGL. You know, we still get our stutters and frame drops and all that, so
Considered not online. Radar service terminated. Change to Unicom 122.8.
is what it is. Nature of flight sim, I guess. Every sim's gonna have their problems, you know. I mean, MFS, like, frame rates are all over the place, GPU utilization's maxed out, so encoding is a little problematic for streaming. You know, the jetliners are awful, you know, so it's kind of, it's like a pick your poison type of scenario, you know, but I'm glad I at least have two options now. It is nice just having a little bit of variety. All right, so about to hit top of climb. We're going to get rid of this. Planes don't work. You mean for MFS? Yeah. Yeah, the jetliners are... Yeah, the A320 is a mess. I mean, all the jetliners are kind of a mess. I mean, they do the bare minimum, I guess. But the moment you throw something situational at it, it's
American 1137, what was your assigned heading?
it's like they can't even deal. Leaving our beautiful ortho scenery here. We enter Canadian airspace.
Vectors for the visual approach.
Okay, 240 heading, American 1137.
We'll see, man. Future's bright for flight sim, though. That's all I can say.
Yeah, American 1137, American 1137, flying 240, descend and maintain 4,000 meters.
Mach 7.8. Ground speed looks decent. At least we don't have a headwind. Should have a tailwind on our way out to New York. That's not for me. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see like what XPlane's like official response is gonna be to MFS. I know Vulcan's been on the, you know, on the agenda for a while, but now that it's, you know, out, it'd be interesting to see like how they respond and how they improve. Descend 230 for 7488. Is that our discretion, or do you want us down now?
At your discretion. That's fine.
All right, 230, our discretion, American 7488.
Actually, if you're going to do that, just cross my PAL at and maintain 16,000. Buffalo altimeter 3031.
Across my PAL, add or maintain 16,000, American 7488. Okay. Okay, so now we're cleared down to 16,000. So we'll wait for our top of descent here. I just want to keep the speed up as much as possible. Austin's to get his head out of his butt. Team up with Google, not going to happen. Yeah, it's a valid point, Kithrick. I don't know. That's kind of... It's a great question. I have no idea. Shit, dude. Yeah, I mean, they're just too small to probably team up with Google. Because that's going to be your biggest issue is scenery. You know, how are they going to compete with scenery being loaded in? Just the complexity of that and the amount of resources it takes to pull something like that off. I feel like Microsoft is one of the few developers, studios that can, implement that. And of course, they have Bing, at their disposal. That's their own, geodata. So it's kind of, it's kind of a David versus Goliath kind of situation. So you kind of have to take it for what it is. Dev team's too small. You need to find devs that can build up on the map data. Google buys out. Yeah, and Google's probably not interested, man. I mean, I don't know. I guess I don't know that for sure, but I do know that XPlane is just a really small development team. So I mean, it's pretty remarkable that they've given us what they have at this point, considering, all things considered. But there's some, still some improvements that could be done for sure. But that kind of stuff is going to be like XPlane 12 type stuff. I think XPlane 11, will have run its course by the time they get to the point where they want to make a marked improvement. So it's going to be tough. Weather gen and flight model. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have any qualms with the flight model, and not me personally. But again, I'm not a real-world pilot, so perhaps a real pilot could probably speak to that a little bit better than I can. But weather for sure, texturing. I mean, for what it is, the default ground textures aren't terrible. It's not like FSX or P3D bad, but of course, if you want to compare it to MFS, which is their number one competitor right now, then yeah, it's not even close. Environmental factors, yeah, for sure. Yeah, turbulence and things like that. Yeah, they're not modeled spectacularly. The hell? What on earth is going on? Dude. My throttles are all jacked up. Look at this. I've lost my throttles. Crap, dude. I literally... Why is my reverse... I have a reverser out. How is that possible? Your reversers literally aren't supposed to deploy in air, dude. I have no idea how to fix this. Dude, it's literally impossible for a reverser to kick in midair. I have no idea what this plane is trying to do to me right now. Dude, this is ridiculous. Like, my number 2 throttle just isn't being responsive. Not supposed to do this, but I don't know what else to... Like, everything is... I don't know how to fix this. Dude, am I gonna have to kill the number 2 engine? I mean, we're still descending. I just don't understand how our reverser can kick in midair. I'm lost.
American 7488, contact Toronto Center 125.77.
We're to Toronto Center, American 7488, thanks.
American 11.
No, I'm not yawing or anything. I have no idea what it's doing. It's obviously a bug. It's literally impossible to deploy a reverser in air because your wheels have to be on the ground. So I don't know why it's doing it. 125775. Debating if I want to cut the right engine. Toronto Center, good afternoon, American 7488, flight level 203 for 16,000. I don't know how to fix this.
American 7488 on the center and low, plan to runway 24 to 1 to information at Foxtrot. Descent 1000.
Alright, descend 1000, we'll expect 24 right for arrival, American 7488. I mean, I guess I don't know how I'm gonna land. I mean, I should be able to land. I mean, I've never landed with a single engine before, so this is uncharted territory for me. Okay, 2-4 right. Okay. Altimeter 3027. I just don't know, like, when I take manual control of the throttle, like, how is it gonna... I've literally got one engine working against me right now. And, like, you notice that, like, I can't click on right here. Like, I can't click... Sorry. I can't click on the number 2 throttle here. 1, 2. Look, it won't let me. Like, it's some sort of weird bug, so I don't even know if killing the fuel supply is going to help. Because it's just not being responsive. Alright, so we're holding at 16,000 right now. I'm just going to have to monitor it. We'll go auto brakes 1. No idea, but I'm losing speed like crazy. Alright, screw it. Killing the engine. I may lose power on the right side. I don't know how that's going to work. See, it still thinks I'm in reverse. Auto throttle. I'm losing a ton of speed, though. I gotta... I'm not throttling up. Well... I may ask for a straight-in arrival here. I don't know what his traffic looks like. What's the current weather? Let me look at the winds here. 6 knots. I should be able to pull it off. Toronto Center, American 7488. Toronto Center, we are down to 1 engine. Our number 2 engine has, we've lost our number 2 engine. Would it be possible to land on 06 right with the tailwind just so we can get on the ground quicker? Alright, 06 left for our arrival, American 7488. Alright. Okay, let's see. Arrival, 06 left. That's gonna... In Toronto Center, American 7488 requesting direct ULIPI, if possible. Challenging him today. I don't know if he heard me.
American 7488, which position you on the flight?
So it's a fix on runway 06 left, ULIPI, Uniform Lima, India, Papa, India.
Roger, American 7488, proceeding to
Direct ULIP 8,000, American Standard for 88.
American 7488, are you declaring an emergency?
Yes, let's go and declare an emergency at this time for American Standard 48.
Roger, and copy.
Okay, why? Thank you. Said 8,000. All right, I really got to keep an eye on my speed here, because I'm manually managing this throttle. Lights on. I'm not gonna mess with the engine starters. All right, guys, we're in uncharted territory here. This is literally the first time I've ever declared an emergency on the network.
Good afternoon, Sunwing 30 is climbing through 10,500 for 15,000.
I'm gonna go brakes 2 here, because I'm not gonna have the reversers on the right side.
Climb flight level 230, Sunwing 30.
Oh shit, our speed is, we're way too fast. I'm just gonna go idle on the throttles for now. I really gotta keep an eye on the airspeed right now. Okay, so we got a plan for the ILS. So 06 left, 109.10 on the ILS frequency. Let's see, nope. There. $109.10 and 57 on the course. Yep. I promise this was not a planned failure. But it's always good to be prepared, I guess. What does this say? Cross bleed. Yeah, our cabin pressure, yeah, we're good. Alright, just keep an eye on that airspeed. Say maintain 4,000 American 7488. We're not descending very fast. I've got the engines and like idle, so. All right, arm the speed brake. Why did my autopilot turn off? Why is it doing that? Freaking Zebo, man. I don't know about this plane sometimes. Alright, guys, so we have declared an emergency. We are descending to 4,000 feet. We have lost our number 2 engine. Our reverser decided to kick in for no inexplicable reason. So, I've got manual throttles right now. Autopilot's still doing its thing as far as directional guidance, but I've got the auto throttles turned off right now. I have no idea what's wrong with this airplane. But we have declared an emergency. We're landing on the opposite side here. We're going to have a little bit of a tailwind. It's about a 6-knot tailwind. We should be able to manage it, though. And this is the longer of the 2 runways as well, so we should have plenty of time and space to get this thing down. Kind of threw the ATC a curveball here. Flight to 10. But he's handling it pretty well. Let's see here. Engine out. We probably want... I'm just going to go flaps 30. I have no idea what the actual procedure is on this. So we'll look for 145 knots on our speed. I'm going to go ahead and just... Well, okay, because I don't have flaps out. That's all right. I've got to get... Actually, I should be able to go flaps. Let's go flaps 5. I really gotta get down to 4,000 feet here because we're coming up on our runway fixes. Single engine landing. I'm just going to operate under the assumption that I'm not going to have reversers. But I guess we'll find out.
1,000 to go.
1,000 feet to go until 4,000. Speed is looking decent. So it should be leveling off. Okay, we're going brakes 2 on this because I don't know what kind of reverser performance I'm gonna get. I'm just operating with the assumption that my reversers just aren't gonna work, but I guess we'll find out here shortly. I'm gonna manually throttle this up. We're still losing speed. You know what? I'm gonna go flaps 15 actually on this because I'm already at 80%, 82% in one. So we're gonna go flaps 15. We're looking for 158 on our final speed. You can see we're kind of cleared ILS Pro 06 left, American 7488. All right, so cleared for the ILS. You can see we're kind of tilted a little bit because of the asymmetrical thrust. So keep an eye on our speed. We're about 169 knots right now. I'm okay with that. Just speed control is an issue. I'm already at 82% in one. I really don't want to stress our one remaining engine out. Otherwise, we become a glider, and I don't want that. So we're looking for a flaps 15 landing. So our landing speed is going to be a little high, but like I said, I don't want to overstress the engines with more drag. All right, so we're losing speed a little bit. Oh. Might help if I take those away, as I talk about stressing the engines out with drag. All right, we're going to arm our localizer. Should pick it up here soon. There it is. Approach mode. Arm that. Okay, we're gaining speed now. All right, final approach speed. Once again, we're looking for 158. 158 on the speed. Gear down. This is going to give us some drag here. Okay, let's go flaps 15. Let's get configured here. Oh, 15. Flaps 15. Keep an eye on that speed. I've got the throttles. I'm going to let the autopilot guide me in here as much as possible. All right, landing check. Let's gear down 3 green. Flaps are set. Auto brakes set to 2. Speed brake is armed. Landing lights are on. I really don't want to mess with the engine starter, so we're going to keep that as is. I've got the field. We're all right, over to tower 18.7, American 748.
2,500.
Toronto Tower, good afternoon. American 7488, ILS 06 left on emergency.
American 7488, runway 24 right, wind 210 at 6, clear launch point. 06 left corrections.
Alright, it's clearly land 06 left, American 7488. 158. I gotta lose a little bit of speed here. That's about 160. A little off center here. Got 11 knot tailwind right now. We're kind of pushing it here a little bit. Sending about 800, 900 feet a minute right now. It's a little steep. Alright guys, my airplane. Oh man. This thing is not easy to control with one engine. But I really got to put some left aileron into this. Alright. Come on. Dude, I just cannot get this thing lined up. Okay, we're a little high. Five feet checked. I didn't set my barrow either.
400. 300.
Territory Alpha Romeo Delta Ridge 21 at 6 knots, clear for takeoff 23.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Alright, one reverser. Nose down. Alright, manual braking.
80 knots.
80 knots. Checked. Kill the reverser. I'm going to use the entire runway, because why not? Oh, man, we made it. We made it. Single engine, ladies and gents. Single engine landing.
American 7488, welcome to Toronto. Exit 1 for enable and contact go 121.65.
Right over to ground, American 7488. Thanks for the help. Alright, Toronto ground. 121, what'd they say? I don't see... Nope, there is no ground. Okay, we're just gonna disconnect. Ladies and gentlemen, somehow, some way, we made it. Single engine. Had to kill engine 2. Once we started our descent, no idea what's going on. I mean, it's still all messed up. Like, I still have no throttle control with engine 2. I have no idea. It's obviously some sort of bug because I don't have failures planned or anything like that. I don't fly with failures turned on just because it's too unpredictable. But yeah, for whatever reason, we lost engine 2. I had to kill the fuel to it. Had to descend and land with one engine. Yeah, controlling it on approach there was interesting. It was definitely very asymmetrical. Had to put a lot of left aileron into it. We'll definitely take a look at the replay. But made it in one piece. It's actually a relatively smooth landing. Probably land with one engine more often. Yeah, I landed with flaps 15. I needed a little bit more speed. I didn't want to reduce. I didn't want to do like flaps 30 because that requires more thrust. And with one engine, it's only so much thrust I can give it. So that's my justification for it. I have no idea if that's how you do it in the real world. I just kind of figured that in my head that more drag equals more thrust requirement. With one engine, I really don't want to push it. So that's how you do it. Okay. Yeah, I kind of figured, but you never know. Just weird, man. I'm literally going to take this gate right here. We're just going to park right here. This looks like a plate for a bigger, or a gate for a bigger plane, but I don't care. I don't even have my taxi lights on or anything. Let's start our APU. You can see because it's on the phone. Okay, yeah, I mean, you can always check out the VOD, man. Yeah, it was one of the more challenging landings I've had to deal with. Still have my reverser out. It's just a bug, man. Like, I'm at 50% in one. It just does not want a taxi. And it's wanting to pull to the right, naturally, because of the asymmetrical thrust. Alright. Our FPS is terrible, but too far. Whatever. Park and brake. Do we have our APU available? Looks like we do. Go ahead and kill engine 1. APU bleed can come on. And I didn't turn any of those off. Never turn my wing lights on either. Go those to steady. Probe window heat comes off as well. Go to APU gen on this, and seatbelts already off. Okay. Well, somehow we made it. My reverser is still sticking out. We got to send this plane over to maintenance. It is going to be in op for quite some time, I would imagine. Well, guys, what should have been a routine flight into Toronto turned into a declared emergency. That's my first time ever having to do that on VATSIM. Got down in one piece. Yeah, I just can't explain. Can't explain why I did that. It's probably a bug, but I guess we'll just go with it, I guess, right? Not much else I can do. I just gotta handle the problem. Hey, man, we hit that center line pretty good. Single engine, man. Single engines out here. Tell you, man, not easy with one engine. Not easy at all. Had to come in hot. Not too shabby, man. Kind of proud of that one. I'm not even going to tell a lie, man. I'm kind of proud of that one. Yeah, it's a hella fast approach, man. We're like 20 knots over speed. 15, 20 knots. Let's look at the cockpit view here. Just the kind of like the angle I was having to work with, man. Actually, we'll go back to this view. We'll zoom out a little bit. You'll see the aileron inputs I'm having to put in here.
2,500.
Just did not want to get steady until the very end. And this is not a situation where you want to go around. You really want to plant this thing. You don't want to go around.
500. 400. 300. 200.
Just a lot of left aileron.
100. 50, 40, 30, 10.
That was like dead on center line, man. I'm talking dead on center line. Yeah, dead on center line, man. It's actually maybe my best landing ever, considering the situation. But all right, guys. Hell of an interesting first flight. We are gonna fly the Tolis A319 into LaGuardia for flight number 2. So let me get reloaded back into the sim here. I'm gonna take a quick breather, and then we'll be back, and hopefully we'll just keep it to a routine flight for flight number 2. But I appreciate you guys sticking around for that, and back here in a few minutes. There we go. I made a mistake, so I gotta load in here, and it's not loading in cold dark because I reinstalled the TOLUS because my folder was all jacked up for some reason. So, I've got to configure some stuff here real quick. Luckily, the TOLUS loads in really fast, so shouldn't be an issue. Interesting stuff, man. Losing an engine. Hopefully, the TOLUS doesn't do that. Like I said, reinstalled the TOLUS because I was having issues with the BSS sound pack. Like I said, my folder got all jacked up after the last update, so I just did a fresh install on it. Also did the update for the A320. Still probably not going to fly that because it basically just came out of beta and went to Vulkan compatibility, but I don't know if there's actually any actual performance improvements with it. But I don't know. Perhaps we'll fly the next week. We'll see. We definitely got to get back in the Mad Dog for sure. So we'll probably fly the Mad Dog at some point. See, it's not putting me in cold and dark. I don't know what this is. What is this? I don't know what that was. Okay. Yeah, so my preferences are good. I just gotta go here, general settings, cold dark. This needs to be 18,000. Yep. Sync barrow settings, yes. We won't do auto align. We will enable that. Go. Save. Reload the plane here in a second. I just want to make sure my... I see my nose wheel's not working. Had this problem with this plane before. I guess. Yeah, joystick roll for nose wheel steering. That should be on auto. Okay. Let me reload the plane. Should be a pretty quick load because we don't have to reload the scenery. All right. Maybe my hydraulics have to be on. I don't know. Okay, we're getting swallowed up by the jetway. Well, don't like that. Just get rid of that. Not gonna use a gate. Okay. I think we got it figured out. All right. Let's get everything turned on here. We got external power available. Let's get our batteries on. A little bit of configuration got to deal with. External power on. APU master switch. Default signs on. Starting that. APU bleed comes on. IRS is to nav mode. I'm going to go there and there. And that's pretty much it for up top. Yeah, I parked the wrong kind of gate for this airplane. Alright, let's turn these up. Turn on up. Turn on up. Alright. Perfect. This needs to switch to that. Perfect. Alrighty. In it. Toronto to LaGuardia. Line IRS, going to be Air Canada 7488. Alright, so I need to get Simbri flight plan going here real quick. Toronto to LaGuardia in the A319. Alright, so we're going to generate that. I need to update the panel at the top. And I'm going to go up here, here, and go A319. Okay, so that is updated for your viewing pleasure. All right, 59 minutes in the air for this one. Cost index of 25. We're going to cruise at 350. All right, gas and people. So let's go to our toll list screen here. Go to our loading perf page. Fuel 6528. 65 looks fine to me. Residual fuel weight needs to be 57. .0. Perfect. Fly. All right. Should be good to go there. We're going to go back down to our McAdoo. And we're going to look at these numbers here. I just exited out of that. 57.0 and 6.5. And 6.5 on the block fuel. Gives us a takeoff weight of 63.3. It's pretty darn close, so we'll just go with that. Perfect. We just gotta get our flight plan filed, and then we can ask for our clearance. We file with VATSIM. Air Canada 7488, 8319. Flight plan is filed. Now we can reconnect to the network here. Perfect. All right, so let's pull our charts up here real quick. And report info for our departure. We're on the kept to 2 departure. And it'll be this one right here. It'll be departing on the 2-4s. At least we should be. Should be kept to 2 bump a transition. Now let's see, we need to be with Toronto departure 1288. Who was I hearing a second ago? Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, 128.8. Turn that off. Okay. Let's call our clearance here.
We have an 80 scope, and we're ready for taxi to runway 23.
Planet 434, runway 23, altitude 3025, taxi Delta Romeo, Delta Alpha Hotel, hold short 23.
Roger, altimeter is 30.2.
Are we there yet? Trying, man. Try to get this clearance. Need my clearance. Clarence. Toronto departure, good afternoon. Air Canada 7488 IFR to LaGuardia, please.
Air Canada 7488 departure, good evening, cleared to LaGuardia, Captain 2 departure, bump a transition, flight plan route. Depart 23, swap 2266.
I cleared to LaGuardia, Captain 2 departure, bump a transition, then it's filed. Squawk 2266, Air Canada 7488. And departing runway 23, Air Canada 7488.
Air Canada 7488, that's all correct. ATIS, I don't have an ATIS, that'll be up shortly. Push start your discretion, call for taxi.
We'll go. Okay, that's why he said runway 23. I thought he was giving me a departure frequency. He just said it kind of fast, but okay, that'll work. So runway 23, that's a little far for us. Oh well, that's what he wants. That's what he'll get. All right, departure. Runway 23. Kept to 2, departure is somewhere. Bump a transition. All that looks good. Gonna insert all of that. After Bumpa, we're gonna go to Avon. Then after Avon, we're going to Audil. 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 Perfect. Set there, Audil. That'll take us into our arrival. So we'll just insert this. Go to LaGuardia. Arrival. We got to pull weather real quick. Figure out which runway we're going to be looking at because I don't think we're going to have ATC. LaGuardia current conditions 40 at 6. The winds are 4 at 0 at 6. Airport info. Then our arrival is a Harp 3. It looks like runway 31 is what we're going to be looking for. So I believe that'll give us the expressway visual. Let me double check. Yeah, expressway visual, runway 31. Is what we're going to do. We'll just do localizer 3-1 for now. We'll be on the Harp 3. No runway via. And our transition is RKA. Insert that. Clear this discontinuity. Get rid of that. Perfect. Alright. All that looks good here. Let's brief our departure real quick. So for our departure, Capta 2 out of runway 23. Climb heading 230. And then we're going to spec radar vectors to Savor, which will be out this way. So, be a straight out departure and then a left-hand turn to Savor. So that looks good to me. Just going to go into our perf page here. We're going to go to our tools menu to get our speeds figured out. We're going to go flaps 1 for departure. P speeds are as follows: 152, 152, 154, flex 65. Probably going to go down a little lower than that. Flaps down 0.1. 152, 54, 1, down 0.1, 55 on the flex. Looks like they're closing up our doors for us here. And ladies and gents, we are ready for push and starts. Turn the constraints on. Terrain radar can come on as well. We are cleared.
Air Canada 752, call me airborne, wind 2008, clear to take on 23.
Okay, so it's going to be, I guess, climb via SID. Yeah, so 5,000 on the altitude. And for TCAS, we're looking for 2266. Perfect. And for push and start, we're going to push and face the left. So we're going to go better pushback.
Ground to cockpit, please show me where you want to go.
Zoom out here a little bit.
Ground to cockpit, tow is direct.
As terminals made for larger aircraft. All right. Grab our altimeter here real quick just to make sure. 3025 is the altimeter, so we'll adjust that, and everything else looks good.
Canada 752 is airborne, climbing through 1,000. Canada 752, thanks for identifying, climb 7,000. I'm 7,000 for Canada 752.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
I want to turn that down. Don't know how loud this is going to be. I reinstalled BSS sounds too, so apologies in advance if the sound mixing is a little off with the aircraft sounds. They tend to be a little loud.
For left direct, Oakville on course, climb 15, 15,000. Left direct to Oakville on Oakville 15,000, Air Canada 752.
Get our beacon on. Push off the external power. Fuel pumps can come on. Seatbelt signs are on. And we are on a APU power.
And bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Let's double check our surroundings here. Looks like we're clear to push.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Starter on. And start engine 2. Alright. Let's hope there's not any emergencies this time around. Not gonna lie, it does make for a more interesting flight though, I guess. But something I don't want to be doing every flight, that's for sure. That's engine 2 is looking good, and it is available. Start number 1.
United 1123, requesting IFR clearance to Memphis.
Alright, so that's the other gen switching over. Kind of a long pushback.
United 1123, cleared to Memphis.
Kill the APU.
Departure, entry, transition, flight plan route. Depart 23, squawk 2275. Departing runway 23.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
1123 rebind, correct.
Parking brake set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Starter normal. Flaps 1. Arming the speed brake. RTO on the auto brake.
434, holding runway 23.
Do our flight control check.
434, fly runway heading, call me airborne, wind 09, correction, wind 1908, clear takeoff 23.
Roger, we'll call airborne and fly runway heading, runway...
Flight controls are checked.
Okay, 752, contact Cleveland Center, 134.9 days.
134.9
Alright, wait for the tug to disconnect here. Taxi light, runway turn off.
Signal will be on the right. We'll see you next time and have a great flight.
Thank you. Wait for our gear pin. Everything else is looking good. Wheels are working perfect. That was my number one concern, is are my wheels gonna turn? I've had to do it manually before. It is not fun. Alright, so we got a call for our taxi clearance. Going to departure, Canada 7488. With current weather, ready to taxi 2-3.
Okay, 7048, runway 23, taxi Alpha Mike, Alpha Hotel, hold short 23.
Alright, Alpha Mike, Alpha short 2-3 for Air Canada 7048. I think I missed a waypoint in there.
Air Canada 434, airborne, pressing 2000.
1-4-3-4, just check.
Alpha Mike, Alpha.
Passing 1,800.
No, now it's 2,800.
1-4-3-4, thanks, sir. Identified, claim 7,000.
Roger, climb 7,000 there, 1-4-3-4.
Okay. Oh, whoa, 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 what is that? What the heck? Very weird.
2 left on the course, climb flight level 230.
Roger, climb 230 and direct 2 left, quantums 434.
Cabin check and takeoff config. No blue ECAM. Gonna turn right here and then head Alpha all the way across. I haven't departed on 2-3 here in a while. And we'll take a right onto Alpha. A little slow. Yeah, performance at this airport's still kind of with 32 FPS right now. It feels less stuttery. I'll give them that. But still a little bit of a frames hog. But as long as it's above 30, then I'll be okay with it. It's kind of my threshold. And so we're going to be on this for a while. I'm assuming we're going to take hotel.
Station calling departure taken.
United 1123, ready for taxi. Runway 23.
United 1123, just confirm squawk 2275, no Charlie, please.
Wait, which way's Alpha? Oh, whoops. Gotta stay this way. Almost messed that up. An American 777 right there. Random smokestack out there. Alright, almost made a wrong turn, but got it figured out.
Phase approved. Have it in flight.
Roger, switching vehicle quantum 434. Thank you for service. Goodbye.
United 1123, thanks. I see you now. Runway 23, altimeter 3025. Taxi Alpha Tango, Alpha Hotel, hold short 23.
Excited about the expressway visual though. Should be a good arrival. It's definitely the most fun arrival into New York by far. FedEx cargo jets out here. Random A330. Not a fan of long taxis, but gotta do what ATC tells us, I guess. Alright, I'm gonna take a right here at hotel. Oh no. I don't know what is going on now. I'm getting these stutters again. I think it sorted itself out. Back to my chart here.
7488, call me airborne, wind 20011, got 17, clear takeoff 23.
Clear takeoff 23, Air Canada 7488. Alright, so over 23, heading 237. Lights. Frame's like drastically improved. 56 right now. Probably because I'm a little bit further away from the buildings and stuff, the airport. Alright, runway 23 is confirmed. Oops. Block. Stable. Flex set 55. SRS runway in the green. Engines in the green. 80 knots. V1 rotate. Positive climb, gear up. And climb thrust. Ground departure, Canada 7488, 2,500, climbing 5,000.
Air Canada 7488, thanks for identified. Climb 7,000.
7,000, Air Canada 7488. 7,000. Flaps clean. I'm going to have to turn these engine sounds down a little bit.
Air Canada 7048, turn left, direct saver on course, climb flight level 230.
Direct saver on course, Air Canada 7488.
And Air Canada 7048, climb level 230.
230, Air Canada 7048.
Multitasking. Two 230 in managed mode for everything. And fly it here for a little bit. The frames are outstanding in this plane. I can go autopilot.
It is 11:23, flying runway 6, Albany Airport, wind 1708, gust 17, clear takeoff 23.
Clear takeoff, flight runway headed airport.
Disarm those. Alright, so climbing 230. Our final altitude is 350. So he'll give us clearance here soon. Well, he probably is actually going to hand us off to Unicom here soon because there's no center on. So we'll be on our own here in just a second. It's a little bit better. I think those actually have to be all turned to the left except for the oral alerts. Main lights can come off. Downtown Toronto. Off in the distance there. Ah, crud. Gets stuck like that, man. Downtown Toronto. Kind of barely make it out. It's pretty hazy right now. Flip that off. Alright guys, so expressway visual. Track we're flying here, we're going kept at a bumpa. Here's our Harp 3 arrival here. We're going from Rockdale VOR. Meandering our way in here. Expect vectors here, so this is actually going to be interesting because I should actually be coming in from the other side. Because it looks like we're going to fly over the airport and then probably loop back around is what's going to happen. Yeah, so we'll fly over the field, like fly over LaGuardia VOR. Yeah, we're loading something in right now. Sorry for the stutters. And then from there, we're on vectors to Queen and then Fabry. I don't see those on here. Oh, that's right, because I did an RNAV, so we're gonna ignore that. Actually, we'll fly over LaGuardia this way, and then we'll loop back and pick up the visuals here. So we just need to be at the water tanks at 2,500 feet. So what we're gonna be doing a lot of manual flying on this approach. Let's put it that way. Yeah, what's up, Bulldog Gaming? Yeah, man, of course, yeah.
Canada 7048, contact Cleveland Center 134.9 today.
Over to Cleveland, Air Canada 748, thanks.
You have 1123, proceed direct.
Yeah, man, of course.
Climb 1 climb 15 down.
Hope all's going well with you, man. Cleveland 134.9. Let me turn them up here just a little bit. Cleveland Center, good afternoon. Air Canada 7488, flight level 190, climbing 230.
Air Canada 7488, Cleveland Center, good afternoon, climate maintain, flight level 350.
350, Air Canada 7048. Alright, 350 on the altitude. Should be good to go there. It's good. Plane American Truck Simulator. Stop by when I stream next time. Yeah, man, for sure. Yeah, I'll definitely check it out. Yeah, a lot of people play those truck simulator games now. Or simulators, I should say. Interesting stuff. There seems to be a correlation between that and flight sim as well. I guess just simulations in general. It looks pretty neat, though. Some pretty cool stuff you can do in that stuff in that simulator, actually. All right, 67 FPS. I can work with that. We should get an ortho back here soon. Use active 11. Okay, yeah, that definitely helps then.
Qantas 434, hello, with you.
Let me mess around with this real quick.
Qantas 434, hello, with you. Qantas 434, Cleveland Center, hello.
That's what I want. Okay, that wind sound is so annoying. It's probably realistic to keep it up a little bit, but it's a little much.
Qantas 434, radar contact. Thank you. Qantas
Okay.
434,
I think I'm good with that.
flight level 380.
It's a nice steady climb.
Roger, 380, Qantas 434.
Zipping, man. Yeah, so we'll do the expressway visual. Like I said, there's no ATC on currently in New York. But the winds favor it, so that's what we're going to do. Yeah, we gotta get into the ortho here. I think I can see it up ahead where it's getting patched through. I do hope, speaking of the overlay, I do hope that the plugin that utilizes this becomes available for the new flight simulator. I don't know if that's on the horizon or what. I think it is. I think I mentioned another streamer. I remember another streamer mentioning that.
992 Cleveland Center, good afternoon.
That it was going to hopefully be implemented. I guess we'll have to wait and see on that. But, I mean, I flew without it for so long, it's not the end of the world if I can't use it.
We're about 10,000 feet above where we're supposed to be at Cutter, so we can continue our descent down if you need us to. We weren't really paying attention.
Air Canada 752, no problem. Just go ahead and continue your descent. Descend and maintain 6,000. Expect the visual approach.
That's not what you want your pilot to say.
8 right.
Not paying attention.
Descend and maintain 6,000. No, expect the visual for 2 right, Air Canada 752.
Cleveland Center, United 1123 with you, flight level 140.
Hey guys, so schedule the next couple weeks could be
United 1123 Cleveland Center. Good afternoon, climate.
could be a little sporadic because gotta wait for the Stanley Cup Finals to get sorted out.
Air Canada 992.
The
Contact.
Stars have made it to the dance, to the big dance. So until that concludes, schedule is going to be kind of TBD because they're going to be playing at night. Hopefully I can work around it, and hopefully they make quick work out of Tampa. Get back to normal schedule soon enough. Climb is looking good. We're gonna cruise for a little bit, about 100 miles or so. A little bit of a longer flight than the first one. Coming up on our ortho here though. Just the difference, man. Okay, there's the haze coming out of nowhere. But yeah, so schedule's going to be a little all over the place for more or less the next couple of weeks. Don't know if I want the Stars to have too much rest. I kind of want them to keep the momentum going, but at the same time, we've got a couple of injuries that I'd like to hopefully get sorted out before the final start. So I guess we'll wait and see if Tampa closes out their series tonight. Then we'll probably be starting the finals by Friday or Saturday. Hell, end of next week, the whole thing could be decided, man. You just don't know how quickly these things can go. We're passing 30,000 feet now. Just now leaving this chart here. And we'll be outside of this chart for a while, but you can kind of see where we're headed here. Turn them back up a little bit in case he calls me. I said no. Wow, a lot of people are. Okay, so New York approach is on. I don't know LSO departure. I guess that would be covering LaGuardia. I gotta pull a map up. I mean, I guess he'll call me if there's an issue. I never forget one time, one of the first times I flew into LaGuardia, I went a little, I got a little crazy. Excuse me, I got a little crazy with my vectoring. And I ended up in JFK airspace, and the controller called me like, yo, you're in my airspace. I'm like, my bad, man. I'm just trying to find LaGuardia. Because sometimes like the approach controllers only cover like a certain sector and they won't cover the other one. But it's like you got LaGuardia, JFK, Teterboro, Newark, like all on top of one another. So
you know, could be traffic conflicts at times. A little bit of turbulence here. So hopefully we still get the expressway visual with the controller on. They're, dang it, they're departing 1-3 in real life right now. We are not going to get the expressway visual. Yeah, they're departing 1-3. Poop on a stick. There's the river visual.
Air Canada 752, turn right heading 190.
We're heading 190.
Cleveland Center, good afternoon. It's Giant 004 Heavy with you, flight level 320.
I do believe that this is an ILS approach on this side, though. Yeah, for 1-3.
Giant 004.
Be an ILS approach, more than likely. So we're going to have to change the arrival, boys.
For Giant 004.
So ILS 1-3.
Air Canada 752, when you roll out the airport at the end, sure, 2 o'clock, coming 3 o'clock and 10 miles advice from the other field in sight.
Air Canada 752, Roger, we'll be looking for the field.
Alright, apologize for the stuttering. It's trying to load something in here.
Air Canada 752, got field.
Air Canada 752, clear visual approach, runway 28 right.
Air visual approach, right here, right here.
It's the thing I hated the most about XPlane is when it loads something in, it just tanks my CPU usage.
Giant 004 is radar contact 63 miles north of Buffalo. Maintained by level 320.
Alright.
Giant 004, maintain 320, thanks. Air Canada 7488, leave my airspace heading east, Boston Center, not online. Radar service terminated, change to Unicom 122.8.
Right over to Unicom for Air Canada 7488. Thanks for the help. Okay, so we're on our own. No more ATC, at least for now. Yeah, unfortunately, we're not going to get the expressway visual unless I just disconnect from the network, but I'd rather not do that. Yeah, just with having a controller on, that kind of changes things a little bit. Everything else looking good, though. The simulator seems to be behaving itself nicely, at least. Getting a solid 60 FPS-ish right now. New graphics cards are out in 2 days, man. I hope I can get my hands on one of them. I think it's going to be a bloodbath since they didn't allow pre-orders this time around for God knows what reason. So, hopefully, it probably won't do much for XPlane, in all honesty, because XPlane is very CPU dependent. It may help a little bit. It's definitely going to help a lot more with MFS, for sure, because it just utilizes your GPU a lot more. More of your modern titles are going to use GPU a lot more, but that's not to say that your CPU can't be a bottleneck either, so you kind of have to make sure it's balanced. I'll be upgrading my CPU probably either end of this year or the beginning of next, just depending on waiting on what AMD is doing. I want to see their what their new line of stuff looks like, and then make a decision from there. And hopefully I can get my hands on a graphics card here in the next couple of weeks, because I'm on a 1070 right now. I'd say it's been a workhorse. I will say that I still get really good performance and a lot of newer stuff, but it's definitely time for an upgrade. So I'm looking forward to that. And it's got it more advanced encoding as well. I use my GPU to encode for the stream, so hopefully that'll help things out. I mean, I feel like the stream usually runs pretty well anyway. It uses minimal. It's about 6 or 7% of your graphics card that it uses. But I just know with the RTX 20 series, they improved on it, and I'm on a 10 series right now, so hopefully we'll see a little bit of improvement. Certainly can't hurt. Alright, so we're going to start descent here in about 90 miles or so. But we're good to cruise for now. I probably should consider turning that off so people can actually get up and use the bathroom. Keep an eye on that outside air temperature. We're definitely below freezing. We're not in the soup or anything like that, but if we ever enter into these clouds, we'll have to throw the anti-ice on. Alright, so this flight's definitely going better than the first one. And I'm probably well behind on my Zebo update. I haven't updated the Zebo in a while, so that's the first time I've seen that particular issue, though, with the throttles, so I don't know what was going on. But like I said, a reverser should not be able to kick in while you're in the air. It shouldn't even be possible because your wheels have to be... You have to have weight on wheels, typically. It's one of the redundancies that have been implemented in modern jetliners is that you can't use reverse thrust while you're in the air. It's kind of quite literally counterproductive. So, kind of an odd bug, and I couldn't even mess with it. Like the throttle just completely died on me. I couldn't even control engine 2, so the only thing I could do was just kill it. It's just working against me, man. Can't have it. Cannot have it. Alright, it's coming up on about 75 miles now to our descent. Let's take a look at our chart here and see. So expect 8,000 on that. That's set basey. So that's not accurate on there. That's going to move us up a little bit. Oh, that's probably not a Boeing. So, yep, that moves our top of descent up a little bit. So just plug in 8,000 here just to have it ready to go. Okay. Yeah, anytime you see it say expect on here, it's not going to be in the FMC or MICDU. You got to manually put it in because it says expect as in like you expect it, but it's not like a hard requirement, so it could be different. So I'm going to plug that in for now because I think I'm going to be descending before I reach his airspace. In fact, I know I am, so I want to start the descent properly, and then if he wants to vector me a different way, then so be it. And this will be a straight-in approach as well. Or at least it should be. So we shouldn't actually have to fly over the airport. Well... yeah, this is where it gets interesting. Because that's your LaGuardia VOR. So, I mean, we could theoretically still fly. You could hit Crawley and then just vector out this way. You have to be aware of Teterboro, though. That's the thing. You don't want to infringe on that airspace. Yeah, LaGuardia's a pain, man. Without ATC, it's a pain, honestly. Yeah, I mean, it still wants us to fly over the airport. We'll figure it out. We shall figure it out. This flight more than likely will be posted to YouTube. I need to start uploading my flights to YouTube again. It's really tough to grow like a community and a channel without utilizing YouTube. You basically can't stream on Twitch without YouTube, but I've been very neglectful of that, so we're going to try to revamp the YouTube channel a little bit. And just start cross-posting everything. Be sure to follow the YouTube channel. I believe I have a command in for it. Yep. Be sure to check that out. Subscribe to it. Be uploading our VODs onto that a little bit more regularly. Like I said, something I've been neglecting to do. It's not a pain. It can be time consuming though. You just kind of have to commit time to do it, and like I said, my schedule outside of streaming is kind of sporadic at times, so I get a little sidetracked. All right, so we're gonna start down now, and go seatbelts on. So I'm getting some great performance right now. Looks like I hopefully figured out the issue I was having last week with the performance. And so nice and steady, throttles are going idle. Go auto brakes low. Although LaGuardia has pretty small runways. Yeah, low should be good. While not technically an international airport, Air Canada does fly to and from Toronto out of LaGuardia, in and out of LaGuardia. At least pre-COVID they were. Stuttering and loading and stuttering and loading. New York is notorious for this though, so I should have expected it. We're getting pretty close to the clouds here. I'm going to go ahead and run the anti-ice. We are still well below freezing. not a lot to look at. Keep this chart handy. I don't know if he's going to call me up here soon. Philadelphia departure's on. I almost did a Philly run today. Well, we have to go that like Philly, Boston, or something like that. So we need to go back to Portland as well. Alright, so hit the soup now, it looks like. We're getting pretty close to it. Performance is just so good in this right now, man. Getting a solid 60 FPS. It's just like a dream, man. I feel like this and the Mad Dog are really the only planes that can pull it off consistently. You know, it's not like you're getting bad texturing either. It's just optimized to perfection. I'm really hoping Tolis can develop this plane for MFS. Really, really hoping. I would obviously prefer Tolis over Flight Factor, like 10 times out of 10. A million times out of a million, Tolis over Flight Factor. I think, like I said, I've always said this. I think Flight Factors, their modeling is better. Like the plane looks better. Like the interior of the A320 is better than Tolis. I'll give them that. But just the performance is terrible. I mean, that's really their only knock. Systems-wise, everything works pretty well. Took them absolutely forever to get out of beta. But, man, if they could just figure out optimization, man, I mean, we'd be flying that plane a lot more. But right now, Tolis is just king, in my opinion. Just can't be beaten. Yeah, and obviously anti-ice isn't really implemented very well, and this is kind of the one thing. I think it's more of an XPlane issue more than anything. I mean, there's got to be icing conditions because we're below freezing and we're in the clouds. Go ahead and enter in our perf data here for our approach. Oh, wait. Conditions in LaGuardia currently QNH 3029. Temperature currently is 18 degrees Celsius. Like perfect temperature at least. Winds 10 at 5. Decision height. So we're not doing that. We are doing the ILS 13. (200 feet on the decision height). Perfect. That's all good. We're looking for 137 on our final approach speed. Like I said, this may not be a straight-in approach. I don't know. I'm going to see if this controller is going to contact us or not, because I don't know if he's covering LaGuardia or JFK. Now still firmly in the soup here. What's our, let's look at our visibility on the ground here. No precipitation, 10 miles of visibility. This should clear up. Clouds are just few at 4,500 feet, so should be no issue. Sorry for the stream lag once again. Love the cloud layers. Active Sky does a really good job with implementing their cloud layers. Okay, let's again looking at 8,000 feet for Basie. Still below freezing. There's that annoying flickering. So punching through this cloud layer here. Surpassing 20,000 feet. Really curious to see if we're going to get this controller or not. Still well out of his airspace. Probably another 40 miles or so until we're crossing into his area. Coming up on 18,000 feet now. Altimeter 3029. Things looking good though, looking real good. Not much to look at out the window, unfortunately. The haze is real right now. Once the winter time comes, you usually don't see as much of it. Just the heat and everything can sometimes cause that. Yes, I'm thinking if I could do another stream tomorrow or Thursday, I would definitely want to get into A350 again, and then possibly the Mad Dog. Change things up a little bit. And then we'll be back on MFS at some point as well. Just doing some more VFR type stuff. See some places we haven't seen yet. And routing, like I said, I try to keep a good mix / combination of places we haven't been to in a while on XPlane and like places that have ATC coverage. I would prefer to be able to talk to ATC just for immersion and, you know, keeping sharp with it. That's my biggest thing. Fuel on board still 4,300 kilos, plenty of it. We can do like 6 go-arounds with that. It should be fine. Oh. Altimeter 3029. Both sides, looks good. Right now, I'm about to go over Kingston. Making our way down.
quit slouching on my chair. And there goes again. So annoying when XPlane loads stuff in, man. It just brings the simulator to a halt almost. I'm sorry for the stuttering. It's New York. It's probably loading in like the actual New York scenery at this point, so that's probably why it's tanking right now. Dude, come on, XPlane, figure it out, man. Like, what is... like, I don't understand this. Yeah, this is like the New York load in right now. That's why it's just tanking me. We good? Jesus, man, that was bad. Nope, still doing it. Probably turn the anti-ice off. It is still loading stuff in right now. This is insane. I don't think it's ever taken this long for New York before. This has been like 5 straight minutes of this. It's just bringing my stream down to a grind right now, just grinding halt. Alright, we're coming up to 10,000. The lights turned on here. Yeah. Apologies for the stuttering, guys. It's XPlane. And it's just like almost unflyable. I mean, like the sim is performing just fine, but it's completely destroying my stream quality right now because of the encoding. Alright, so it looks stable for now. Let's keep an eye on it. Guys are passing 8,800 feet now. I guess we're going to hold this for a little bit. Because we're going to take this track here. We're going to fly over LaGuardia. Probably go out a little bit this way and then loop around. This will be on vectors after LaGuardia VOR. Yeah, so... I saw some traffic pop up on the TCAS earlier, but I don't see them now.
Don't think there's any conflicts or anything. Yeah, it's awkward like this because you've got these airports in and around. You got Teterboro right here, and you've got Kennedy here, so you've got to kind of squeeze in between them. So this is where like the river visual comes in, because you fly over LaGuardia and then you just follow the river in and then hit 1-3. So we'll use the river as a guidance. As long as we stay out of like Newark and Teterboro's airspace, it should be good. So we'll chill here at 8,000 feet for the moment. Everything else looks good though. Everything is configured as far as I can take it. I have Crawley on here? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, those loadings were freaking ridiculous, man. But I think that's just because loading in the New York scenery, it's just there's so much with Manhattan and everything. It's a lot to load in, which I get, but it brings the stream to a grinding halt while it's doing it. Because while I use my GPU for encoding, the CPU is still important because the CPU, you know, has to do its thing as well. They both work together. Start that right turn. Alright, so we're straight ahead now, 20 miles from LaGuardia. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to fly over, give myself a vector here, and then join the arrival. I don't know, the controller that's on right now hasn't reached out to me, and I'm definitely in his airspace at this point, so I don't know what the story is there, so I'm just not going to worry about it unless he calls me. Not going to worry about it. Gonna drop us down to 5,000 feet though. Ortho out here has always looked good too. These beach fronts and everything. Can't make anything out, man. The visibility is poopy right now. Yeah, the reason I don't want to cut here is because of Teterboro. It's just... You hit the VOR and then they give you vectors from there, so we'll swing out right here. Falling this way. Kind of make out the city out there in the distance. Here's the airport down here. It's not a good time for us to load something in, man. I thought you loaded New York in already. See the field down here. Go over here, make a turn, and land right here. Turn 290, let's get us down to 3,000. Should we go 2,500? the speed down here. 210. Maybe 2,800 feet or below it. Pay me. Kind of self-vectoring here. Let's go direct pay me. One niner 0. Flaps 1. That is checked. I'm just gonna disconnect from VATSIM. I just don't want any conflicts. Start that turn to final. Flaps 2. Arm localizer. And it's captured. Arm approach mode. And final approach speed, let's just go to our perf page here. And go ahead and punch that in. That'll get us slowed down. Gear down. Flaps 3. Arm speed brake.
2,000.
Checked. Full, flaps full. I've got the runway. Cabin check. Landing checklist. Landing checklist. The landing lights are on. Gear down 3, green indicated. Auto brake set to low. Speed brake is armed. Flaps are full. Cabin crew's been advised. Let's get her on the ground. Missed approach procedure. If we go miss, we're going to climb 800 feet, take a left turn to 2,000. To Greco. Enter or hold. Basically, we would just circle around and just come back and do it again. Should it be necessary. Just right by Central Park here. As feed checked, my airplane.
200.
Check.
Above. Minimum.
Continuing.
$100. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard, 10, 5.
Little rough. First out. Versus stowed, manual braking. City field out there. And pull the flaps in and the speed brakes. Start the APU. Taxi lights on, everything else comes off. Flaps open. Not too bad. It was a little bit of a rough landing there. The flight model's a little squirrely. I don't know if it's a Vulcan thing or I'm just out of practice. Probably the latter, but felt a little squirrely there for a second. Now this Payware Airport in all its glory does not have auto gate, unfortunately, so we're just gonna pull into a random gate here. Not 100% sure where Air Canada parks. This will kind of make up for the long taxi out of Toronto earlier. Kill the taxi lights. APU is now available. That's the bus switch. Really wanted that expressway visual, but yeah, it is what it is. That arrival taking you over the airport's a little different. I've never done that arrival before. I know I've done Toronto to LaGuardia before, so maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I have done it and just don't remember. Alright, that should be good. And we're gonna set our parking brake. Kill the engines. Signs off, beacon light off. Everything else looks good up top. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to LaGuardia Airport, New York City. It's Citi Field out here, home of the Mets. New York Mets. Visitors Weckies, LaGuardia Airport hasn't been updated in like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years. No auto gate, nothing like that. It's modeled okay. It's a decently modeled airport. It's just missing some key features. It's just kind of disappointing and unfortunate. All in all, it's not a bad airport. LaGuardia is a fun airport. Pain in the ass in real life, but it's a fun little airport. Where is the Welcome to New York sign at? On the other side? I don't know. I don't see it. No clue. Anyway, New York City, gonna be off over here. We flew right by. I got a pretty good view of it. Pretty good view of Central Park as well on our way in. This is not Wecky's New York City. This is when I pulled off the org, but everything's modeled in well. Line of distance drawing is done fairly well. All the main buildings are in there. The New World Trade Center building, Central Park, Empire State Building, Madison Square Garden, all that good stuff. Statue of Liberty's out there as well. So not too shabby. Performance is looking good. It's Take a look at our landing here. Yeah. Not too bad, but I definitely flared a little late. A little late on the flare. What happens when you get high? On the approach, that is. Oh, there's the I love New York sign or whatever it was. It's on the side of that runway. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Not too bad. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's not a bad landing. Alright, let's let the CPU catch up here. I don't know what's going on with my... Yeah, we need a CPU upgrade too, I guess. i7 700K and it's just struggling, man.
Above. Minimum. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard, 10, 5.
We'll take it. We will take that, ladies and gentlemen, all the way to the bank. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, well, that is going to do it for me this afternoon / evening, depending on where you're at in the world. Stay tuned on the Discord. I may or may not still fly tomorrow. Kind of up in the air at this point. I think for sure we're going to do something Thursday, so around the same time on Thursday, around noon, U.S. Central Time. Probably an MFS on Thursday, and then just kind of play it by ear from there. But I hope everybody has a great rest of their day. We'll see you guys here in a couple days. I'm going to send you guys over to Mr. 757 Spy, GSA streamer just like myself. So hope everybody enjoys the rest of their day and stay safe out there, guys. Appreciate y'all stopping by.